Watch this. Karoline Leavitt went full savage, brutal. But was it smart? We'll review.
You're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist. And it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised in your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers? And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view, a biased view, and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
This video made half viewers love her and the other half hate her. But here is the real question nobody asks. Was this actually effective? And the good answer starts with a question. Effective for who? Because effectiveness depends on your goal. This can be a MAGA win, a career boost, and an influence disaster, all at the same time. Let's break it down. When it comes to influence, this was a net loss. Karoline scored points with her own constituency, mostly the hardcore MAGA supporters, but she lost extra points with the opposing faction. However, the real game of influence is in the middle. A more measured approach, explaining the why of her arguments, would have been far more effective in influencing the middle. Leavitt here only reacted. She never presented her case. Why was the journalist a hack? Why was she getting angry? She must ground her reaction into her own frame. You cannot just react to others. It's a core principle of influence and frame control. You have to state your own frame. This was particularly ineffective for those who don't follow politics. Try this. Put yourself in the shoes of somebody who just heard a woman get shot by a federal agent. This guy will think, how tragic. Then he sees a video of a journalist asking a poignant but fair question, and he sees a high-ranking representative of the administration lash out in anger with zero empathy. That guy is far more likely to side with the journalist. That's the core mistake. Take me as an example. I was the guy who heard about a shooting and didn't go deeper. When I first saw the viral press conference, I thought, this is fucked up. She didn't even have a single nice word for the family. Only later, when I decided to make a video about it, I looked a bit deeper into it and I realized that, oh wait, it's not so black and white. However, many others will not dig deeper and they may lose respect and trust for this woman and for the administration. It also works poorly for more informed but still moderate folks. Even if they acknowledge your point of view, they may still dislike using aggression to make a point. Gender here also plays a role. Women tend to pay a bigger price for being aggressive. And finally, she largely skipped empathy. Yes, she said it's sad and tragic, but she said it in anger, very fast and without any condolences. So it didn't even register. At that point, she comes across as lacking humanity and empathy, and people then associate all those negatives with the administration. So, influence, good for MAGA, bad for liberals, and poor for the middle. Overall, it was a net fail. Let's look at personal strategy more amorally, such as, was it good for her or not? And it was not nearly as bad for her. Going extreme is often an effective strategy that will help you gain general popularity and status within a subgroup. So she certainly gained more popularity and she became sort of a bigger MAGA hero in her own camp. So overall net balance neutral. However, most importantly, this worked with her boss. Trump probably loved it because it's his own approach. And unfortunately, this is the game that works in loyalty-first organizations. You don't win points by being measured or winning for the party. You win points for being a shield and a weapon for your boss. By attacking the journalist, she proved she's a wartime press secretary. For a boss who is often on wartime, she becomes a much bigger asset. But every short-term loyalty move comes with a bill, and that bill usually arrives later. There are three important costs. One is future-proofing. This attitude wins Trump over today. But Trump, and similar personalities by the way, tend to cycle through loyalists. Even if she stays in his graces, Trump will be gone. And today's loyalists are first out the door when regimes change. Loyalty also has high reputational costs. When loyalty to individuals is replaced by loyalty to principles, then loyalty to individuals becomes a badge of shame. Because of that, cost too. She may be making bigger enemies in the general population. Living a normal life will become difficult without having people yelling or harassing you in your day-to-day life. And finally, cost 3, about relationships, power dynamics. As we said, women pay a bigger price for dominance. So even if subconsciously, some guys may lose attraction for a woman who behaves like this. Now, she may not care about general guys' attraction, but this still applies to her husband. We tend to avoid these realities, we may not like them, but even her boss, that she's so loyal to, said as much. Look at this.
A bad idea to put your wife working for you. Ivana would get angry at somebody and she'd start shouting. And I'd say, I don't want my wife shouting at somebody like that. A softness disappeared. There was a great softness to Ivana. I think that was the single greatest cause of what happened to my marriage with Ivana.
All included, this was not a great loss for her personally, also not an obvious win. I tend to think, overall, better for her than not. What's even more interesting, though, are the strategies that the journalist deployed and what he could have done even better. The signs that Leavitt was moving to attack mode were obvious, including chin-jutting forward, displacement signals, tonality, and jumping in with "yeah." And here is the part that almost nobody noticed. The journalist had a golden opportunity to control the frame. It's when she asked for his opinion.
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion?
If you were in his position, with cameras rolling and pressure on, what would you have said to win the interaction? Write it below, I'll reply it personally to the best answers.